So in the last video, we explored some of the best 7-string riffs ever written. So in this week's video, it only seems fair that we tune a bit lower, jump further into the dark side and explore some of the best 8-string riffs ever written. What is up everybody, my name is Pete and I play music. I am definitely more of a 7-string person, I've talked about this before in other videos. 8 strings are great, I like them too, but for me 7 is the sweet spot. But all that being said, it doesn't mean that I can't appreciate a good 8-string riff, of which there are many, and as with last time, this isn't a definitive list. These are just some of my personal favorites. So if I've missed a killer riff that you think should be included, let me know in the comments below. Which 8-string riffs would make it onto your list? First up is Meshuggah, of course, and this riff is from Demiurge. Meshuggah kind of wrote the book on 8-string riffs, and they're mostly known for being kind of very complicated and hard to play. Most of their riffs make heavy use of syncopation and odd off-the-beat notes that kind of throw you off a bit. But Demiurge is definitely one of their more straightforward songs. Everything is on the beat and it's all synced up with the drums. It's just a really good, low-tuned 8-string riff. And it shows that some of the simplest riffs are sometimes the heaviest as well. Next is Animals as Leaders and Wave of Babies. So I couldn't in all honesty do an 8-string video and not include Animals as Leaders. They've taken everything we know about guitar, chucked it in the bin, and kind of replaced it with some kind of future guitar 2.0, but that in itself brings a problem because everything Animals as Leaders does is really hard to play. So for this, I've chosen one of their easier riffs. It also happens to be the first song I ever saw Toast Nabasi play. It's still tough though. It starts in 5/4 time and there's syncopation everywhere, but this is definitely one of my favorite 8-string riffs. Next up is Mick Gordon and BFG Division. This riff has kind of become legendary and I think we all know why. What Mick Gordon did with the Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal soundtracks was nothing short of visionary in my opinion. He managed to not just honor the legacy of Doom and its music, but also kind of expand on it. He updated it for a new generation and it fits the tone of Doom so well. It's visceral, punishing, and relentless, and the blending of heavy synths and guitars is just perfect. Video game scores and music, when done well, can become as legendary as the games themselves, and I think that's definitely what Mick Gordon did with the Doom scores. I am a big fan, so it just had to be done, right? Next is Anchor from Rob Scallon. So Rob and I first collaborated right around the time this was released, and I remember being completely blown away by it at the time. I think he's also said that this is the first song he ever wrote on an 8-string too, which is really cool. It's completely clean with no distortion or anything, and it has Rob's signature style. In a world of everything being super hyper gent, this was a breath of fresh air. In my opinion, it's a timeless piece of music that is instantly recognizable, and it's been one of my favorite 8-string songs ever since I first heard it. And finally, I couldn't make this video without including Bleed by Meshuggah, the daddy of all 8-string riffs. In reality, this video could basically be all Meshuggah riffs, but I think this is the one riff that Meshuggah will always be remembered for. I remember hearing it for the first time and thinking, how is this even possible? It's a relentless rhythmic exercise that really tests your picking endurance, but it's so much fun and it's so groovy. I like it so much because it makes you bob your head with a massive smile, but it's also really technically quite hard to play. So when I think of an 8-string guitar, this riff is usually the first thing that pops into my head. So that's my list of the best 8-string riffs ever written. But what are yours? Which riffs would you include? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe. As usual, tab for this is available on my Patreon. That's over there. Check that out if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, my name is Pete and I play music.